Okay, so my name is Sarah Jones and I am the president of the Students Association. I am not a president of technology. So if this goes slightly awry, I apologise. Let me just see here's my slides. There we go. Okay, so first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about the association. So every registered student automatically becomes a member of the association, and the association is run by students for students. So tonight I'm going to introduce you to the student leadership team, and the student leadership team are elected every 2 years to represent you, and that's their job. Their job is to represent you throughout the university. There are other things that we provide. So we provide various methods of student support and point you to methods of student support. And on our website, you'll be able to see all of those. But just to give you a brief run through, we have peer supporters, Nightline Together All, which is a mental health website, Disabled Students Group, our Black, Asian and Minority Ethnic Group, OU Pride, which is our LGBTQ plus group, and our OU Students Educational Trust that helps students who are in financial difficulty. We also do a lot of what we do, especially as the student leadership team, is volunteering and representation. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about that when I introduce them. If you'd like to keep up to date with what we do, have a look on our website, sign up to our monthly newsletter, follow us on Twitter, on Facebook and on Instagram. Okay, so your student representatives are called the Central Executive Committee, and we represent students at the university level and at national level. So tonight I'm going to introduce you to me, and I'm your president, the deputy president, all the vice presidents, our council member, our faculty association reps, our area association reps, and they're going to tell you a little bit about how they represent you. So just a brief kind of rundown of what student reps do. So student reps influence decision making within the OU. They promote your interests and ensure that the OU is more than just a place of learning, that it's a student community. And that's something that we really, really want to work towards. We lead the association's strategic direction. We run events, we run activities. So some of the events that we're running is this event tonight. And we run many events, not just during Freshers Weeks, but during the whole entire year and various activities. And you can find out all about those on the website. One of the big things that we do, and you might have noticed in the chat box somebody mentioning Senate, is represent collective needs of the student body at high levels within the university. So we represent you at all different levels of governance through the university. And Senate is one of those levels of governance, and we have 6 student reps on that body. As a Central Executive Committee, we meet at least 4 times a year to discuss where we're going, what we're doing, how best we can represent you. They also represent you in other areas of the university, and we also represent OU students' needs at national level, so in various government groups, such as the all-party parliamentary group for education. Any student can stand for election to be a member of the Central Executive Committee, and every student has the opportunity to vote for who they believe will best represent them. So that's me. I'm Sarah Jones and I'm the president. I have been president now for 6 months, and previous to that I was a faculty association rep for wellbeing education and language studies. So if you studied within any of the wellbeing things like nursing, social work, anything like that, or any of the education things including sport and fitness, then I was your representative. But now I represent every single student, and one of my roles is to represent students on council, which is the highest level of governance within the university. Me and the OU council member do that, and I'll let her talk a lot more eloquently about that in a moment. I speak to the Vice Chancellor on a regular basis. I have meetings with people right across the university representing the Students Association views, representing students on every level right across the university. So I have the kind of the big picture role. Right, next I'm going to introduce you to Ian, who is our Deputy President. Ian, over to you.
Hello, good evening all. Welcome to, right. I've been Deputy President, like Sarah, for about 6 months now. The Deputy President job is specifically looking after overseeing the engagement strategy with all students. There's also a specific area within the OU that we have research graduate students, around about 900 of those, which is quite small by comparison with the rest. But as the name would suggest, the Deputy has the responsibility for standing in for the President as and when required, but also a support of all other colleagues, as we would want to do anyway. Prior to this, I've been an elected representative and committee member working for the association for getting on for 10 years, primarily based in Scotland, but I have worked in a number of Milton Keynes and centrally based committees as well. So that's my kind of general background there. Thanks.
Thank you, Ian. Right, next I'm going to hand you over to Danielle, who is our student council member.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, first of all, I must apologise that you can't see me on camera. The reason for this is because I have pathetic broadband, and if I switch my camera on, I will crash out of this meeting, which I don't really want to do at this point. So my name is Danielle Smith. I am the elected member of the student body to the Open University Council. I was elected in a by-election just a couple of months ago at the beginning of November. And council is the OU's governing body. I know it says student council member there, and you could be forgiven for thinking that means it's a student council made up of students. It's not. So the OU council are in charge of making all the high level decisions. They manage the finance and the business running of the university. And alongside Sarah, it's my role to sit on that council and advocate for the needs of students at that level, but also to maintain the interests of the university at the forefront of everything, because if we don't have a well-run university, we don't have a university at all, and it's not a good experience for any student. Prior to my role on council, I was also an elected representative. I served for 2 years as the area association representative for England, so representing all students based in England. But I've been a volunteer with the Students' Association in a variety of roles now for the last 5 years. And in addition to serving as the council member, I'm also a central committee representative, which is one of our many voluntary roles, and I sit on the education committee in the university, which is also a committee that leads on approving curriculum and education-based decisions and that reports into the Senate. So I've been quite involved and I'm quite active, and I absolutely love it, so I would encourage anyone to get involved as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Danielle. And next I'd like to introduce you to Matt, who's our Vice President of Administration.
Thank you. Yes, as you can see, I was suffering from lockdown here when that photograph was taken. It's even worse now. Yes, I'm the elected VP of Administration, so I tend to look after the backroom stuff. I'm not really student-facing as all the others, so I get excited about things like balance sheets and assets. Prior to being VP of Administration, I was actually the Faculty Association representative for FBL, Faculty of Business and Law, and I'm also sitting on a few committees. But that's me. That's all you want to know about me.
Thank you, Matt. That's really great. Thank you. Okay, so coming up next is Anka, who is our VP Community.
Hello everyone, I'm Anka. I'm VP Community, and my role is to look after the vibrant student community. So this event is part of the Freshers Fortnight, which is one of the very big things that I do in my role. I look after the clubs and societies. I also, part of my role is putting together the University Challenge team, and I would like to do a shameless plug on Saturday night, I believe.
Yes, Saturday night, yes.
Saturday night, we are going to have the University Challenge warm-up, where this year's team is going to have a match with last year's team, and one of the most fought battles of century, I can say, have a battle with the staff team. So please come and join us and support the students team. And
they definitely need it, don't they, Anka?
Yeah, definitely. And just to settle the battle of the faculties that is happening in the chat box at the moment, STEM is the best. We are the dark side, but we have cookies.
No, definitely not the best. Definitely not the best. Swiftly moving on. I'm just going to put up the slide for our VP Education. So Cinnamon is our VP Education, but unfortunately she can't join us tonight. So Sin has quite a large role, and one of her roles, which is why she's not here tonight, is being a member of Senate, which is so you've got Council that Danielle was talking about, and Senate is another level of governance which sits just below Council. And Senate is one of the things that we have 6 students on, and what we do is on the morning of Senate, so Senate's been this afternoon, on the morning of Senate we have something called Senate Reference Group, which is a whole bunch of students, I think it's 40 something students that get together. They all read the Senate papers, and then they give their thoughts and their feelings and their advice to the Senate 6, who then take that forward to Senate. So it's been a really long day for Sin, which is why she's not here tonight. She also has lots of other roles, lots of other parts of her role, which one of them is looking after all the volunteers who sit on all our lower levels of governance. So we have student reps on every single board of study that looks after each of your modules, and then we have reps on the teaching committees, which is the next level of governance. We have reps on the faculty assemblies that slot in there somewhere. I can never remember exactly where. And so she looks after all of those volunteers, helps to have student voice in those levels of governance within the university. And I'm sure I've missed lots of things off that she does, but that's a quick rundown of what she does. Okay, so swiftly moving on, we will move to our VP engagement, which is Fanny. Over to you, Fanny.
Thanks, Sarah, and welcome everyone who's joined us. Quite a few people interested in what we do, and just to settle the faculty argument, FBL, is by far better than STEM or Wales or FAST, but
I'll put my 2 pennies on that in a minute.
On a more important note, my name is Fanny, and I'm Vice President Engagement, along with, on the executive committee with the rest of the leadership team. I served in my previous term as Vice President Media and Campaigns. I even struggled to remember that name, but in my current role as Vice President Engagement, which is probably the least self-explanatory role on the whole committee, I look after everything to do with student voice. That's not governance. I leave all of that stuff to Sin to deal with, and I deal with fun things like Student Voice Week, which means, and I also deal with the association communications. So anything comms related, our social media, our student magazine, The Hoot, which I actually worked on developing with the staff team and the previous executive last term. I look after all of that fun stuff. I also work quite closely with Anchor in terms of engaging our students in non-student voice related activities, and just any kind of miscellaneous bits and bobs that we get up to. But definitely the biggest project is Student Voice Week, which I've actually seen quite a few names that popped up during Student Voice Week in November who are here tonight as well. But I will stop the waffling and let whoever is after me come in.
Brilliant. Thank you, Fanny. And next we have Patrice, and Patrice is our VP Equality, Diversity and Inclusion.
So yeah, hi everyone, I'm Patrice Belton. I am as you can see, the Vice President for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion. Get my teeth back in. What that means is basically I look after all students, well, not just students, I represent all students who have experience any challenges with discrimination, microaggression, etc., or inequalities across the university, especially those with protected characteristics. But that could represent, any student whatsoever. And what I do, or how I do this, is I sit on an inclusion committee at the association, but I also I'm a co-chair for the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion. Well, we're now a committee with the association, and then also I sit in on the equivalent version of that in the Open University as well, and on all of the other, as many as possible as I can, different little access and participation groups to look at things from student declarations for mental health, well-being, things like there's so many. It's just like they're not all coming all at once now you have to think about them. They're not all coming at once, but yeah, just a whole load of different ranges of categories for participation and accessibility to ensure that students are represented and supported through their studies, and ensuring that it's not a debilitating journey for you. So if you do have any challenges around that, you can always come to me. I'm always open, and I do have a space on Facebook with my title, just as it is. Just type that in, you'll find me. But I'm on the association website, which is the easiest place to access, first of all. So thank you, and lovely to meet you all.
Thanks, Patrice. Okay, next up we have Alison, and she's our VP Student Support.
Hi everyone, I'm Alison Kingan, VP Student Support. I know that's a huge surprise to all of you. I have been Vice President Student Support for as long as most people can remember, and within the role is anything affecting students generally. But within that, I put it down to basically three things. So within that role, I look after the peer supporters, which is the Students Association's own service. If you need a listening ear or a shoulder to lean on, they're there for you. And I'm also a trustee of OUSET, which is the OU Students Educational Trust. So that's for students who get into a little bit of financial hardship, but that helps with study costs, not living costs. And then the second part of my role is moseying around on Facebook, just seeing if students are asking questions that somebody else hasn't answered, and I try and respond to those. And also students will message me on Facebook and also email me. And then the third part of my role is I'm on so many groups and committees, I forget which ones I'm on sometimes, where I meet with OU staff. Either I'm on groups, what they call task and finish groups, so they have one particular thing to look at, and they carry on until they've looked at it. And I talk to staff individually with pre-arranged meetings, some once a month, some 3 or 4 times a year. Other committees that I'm on, very similarly to Patrice, so the equality, diversity and inclusion, trying to ensure that students have equity. And also I have meetings with student support team staff, and also a lot of what you see on the website and anything to do with the OU. I'm not going to say that I actually put it there, but sometimes if there's one or any problems that students have noticed or that I notice, I'll raise it with the OU to correct that, so that there might be extra information on there that I've nudged them in the right direction. Or if you use EduRoam at all, when we actually get back outside again and into universities, that was something that I promoted kind of many years ago, so that's one of my big achievements. So thanks everyone for coming along. And my battle of the faculties is I'm going to wimp out and say they are all fantastic. I've been in
Oh, well
amongst
done.
quite a few of them. I found out after about 4 months of being on my current module that I'm actually in the open and access, or just the access support, student support team at the moment. I thought I was within STEM. So yeah, all fantastic. The OU is brilliant, I think. So have a wonderful time.
Great, thank you, Alison. And that was very good of you saying it like that. Okay, so next up we've got Gareth, and he's our Faculty Association for Business and Law.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for coming to the #1 faculty first. I appreciate the support.
I'm gonna hold,
in this debate.
Yes, I'm going to reserve judgment until the end.
As the slide says, my name's Gareth. I'm the faculty rep for business and law. A lot of what I do is very faculty specific. So I look at improving, enhancing the relationship of the students with the faculty. So we look at what sort of events we can put on that are faculty specific. If there's any issues that arise again, which are specific to the faculty, we'll look to take them to the relevant people to make sure they're resolved. As part of this, I sit on various different committees and working groups within the faculty. So I'm on the faculty EDI group. I sit on the teaching committee, the law board of studies as well. I'm also a level 3 law student myself, so I know what a lot of the students in this faculty are going through.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Gareth. Okay. Next up, we have Katie, and Katie is our faculty representative for science, technology, engineering and maths.
Hello. No, STEM's the best. Without a doubt, STEM is the best. Hi everyone, I'm the Faculty Association representative for STEM, as you can see. Like Gareth, it's a very faculty specific role. Work on making sure that the student voice is heard within the faculty, that the faculty is communicating well with the students, working on getting events set up. Yeah, that's me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Katie. That's fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our Faculty Association representative for Wellbeing, Education and Language Studies. Verity, over to you.
So I'm Verity, and as Sarah said, I'm the Faculty Association rep for Wellbeing, Education and Language Studies. I actually took over from Sarah when she got elected to president, and obviously I got elected to my role. So 6 months ago we exchanged batons. So Gareth and Katie summed up what I do for students in Wales, and basically I look after them and make sure their voice is heard. And in the battle of the faculties, obviously Wales is best because we have cake. So yeah.
Well said. Okay, next up we've got a Faculty Association rep for Arts and Social Sciences, and this is Bev. Basically, Bev is the same person as Gareth and Verity and Katie, but in FAS, which is the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, and she attends very much the same type of meetings and does the same kind of work, but I'm sure she'll be around in the chat in a little while. Okay, on to our final Faculty Association rep, and this is our rep for Open and Access, and this is Lucy. Lucy represents our Open programme. So if you're not studying on a degree pathway, Lucy will be, if you're kind of taking a module from here and a module for there throughout the Open programme, then Lucy is your representative. She also represents the Access module. So when you're doing an Access module, Lucy's your rep. But again, in the same way, she represents you in the same kinds of meetings as Gareth and the others. Okay, so next we have our area reps coming up, and I don't think Marius is here. So Marius, let me just look. No, he's not. So Marius is our representative for Ireland, and he represents as the area of Ireland. So what I'm going to do, because there's let me just see who's coming up next for area rep. So we have area reps. So we have Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England, and we have Europe as well. So Marius isn't here, so he's not going to be able to explain what he does. And I don't think Elise, who is our Scotland rep, is here. But I do know that our Wales rep, Lorena, is here. So I will pass you over to Lorena, assuming she's finished walking the dog.
Yes, I'm back home. Thank you, Sarah.
That's all right.
Me and my dog, always the dog. Well, it's great to see so many students here. I just wanted to say about the battle of the faculties. It's difficult for me because I am fast and I am STEM now as well. So full-time student again. Yeah, it gets more difficult and more intense. Just to say, I am the area rep for Wales. I am a history student, level 3, and then I'm starting maths level 1 now in February. Within my role, I am the link between the Open University in Wales and the Welsh students. I can tell you a couple of projects I've been doing lately, so you can have an idea of the type of work that I do. We've been working with the Welsh Manifesto for the upcoming elections. I got a really, really nice project coming up. It's going to be live in Open Learn about well-being. It's going to be 18 new courses. So I'm working, at the moment, I need to start working on doing a blog to go with it. So busy. And of course, now I'm not going to remember anymore, but I'll tell you something. Yeah, it is busy and it's really exciting and I absolutely love it. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lorena. So our area reps work in each of the areas very much the same way as Lorena does. So Marius will do the same with the Irish office, and Elise will do the same with OU in Scotland. So, you know, we all work along the same things.